Love you so much. Man, I just love you so much. Nailed it.
Hello, everyone. I'm doing this commentary on Esther Hicks and this guy who wants to move back to Seattle. He lived there before and now he wants to move back. And so he's describing the lushness, all the things that attracts him to that area. And he seems to be a law of attraction follower where it's almost like you make a vision board and you fill in all of the experiences and the things you want and draw that energy to you.
Then the question is, should I go or shouldn't I go? And we say, too soon for that question. The question isn't, should I go? The question is, do I like the feeling of this thought? Do I like the feeling of this thought? Do I like the feeling of this thought? The grid filling in isn't asking for action. The grid filling in is preparing for the action.
My interpretation of or understanding of the grid filling in is to absorb and believe and shift your mind and consciousness into this will work. I draw this, what I desire, to me.
Of the ease that you keep accomplishing and the evidence of the next piece and the next piece and the next piece. The journey, the journey, the journey. Your journey to Seattle is well underway long before you put your bags in your truck and haul them up there.
My thoughts are about the law of attraction are a bit complicated. I do believe that like energy draws like energy. However, there can be problems with it if the circumstances doesn't happen that you desire. It can sort of become blaming the person that they aren't vibrating high enough or well enough. But there's some truth to setting an intention and doing the things you need to do to make that happen. If you want to run a marathon and you really have that desire, you say, I am setting this intention and then I'm going to sign up for this marathon and then I'm going to train and do the steps to get there. There are other factors that get in the way, which can include like you break your leg or something, or, something happens that prevents it that's outside of your realm of control.
Seattle and its calling were the only vibration that you have going on. Then you'd already be there, and the unfolding of it would be effortless and immediate. But while you can conjure that with some focus, it's things that aren't like that that are here that are more active in your vibration. What's happening in my now, my current what is, doesn't make it easy for me to prepare my grid in order to allow something else.
So she's basically saying that this guy who wants to go to Seattle can be hindered vibrationally by being drawn to what is and where he's living at the moment, and that can prevent it. There's a lot to the idea of possibility, and things will not happen if we don't believe that they're possible, because we won't do anything to make the steps of possibility happen and the energy flow open. Period. We have to be a part of the manifestation. We can trust the universe. It's all in our favor, and it does love us and it wants to help us. However you define the universe, the higher power, God. It's about our welfare and love, and we keep ourselves open and allow that possibility to happen. Otherwise, it can't. You can't put water in a cup that has a lid on it. You just can't.
Why haven't you gone? Why aren't you up there? Oh, There's other things, there are other factors that you want to come into place first. Why aren't you already there? Why don't you just pack up and go?
So Esther is, or Abraham Hicks, Esther, who is channeling Abraham Hicks, is talking about how it is easy these days. Like, he could just get in his car and drive to Seattle and be there however long it would take for him to drive there, or whatever, airplane to get there from wherever he is. And she is saying to take a look at that. What is it that is happening in your life that is preventing that flow of energy for you to get where you are? And those things take time to fix. It's really beautiful to live a life that we really envision and want. And there's still the reality of this. There's still the law of gravity. There are still things that come into play that we have to navigate around, whatever that is. If someone wants to move to the beach and they only have a certain amount of income, there can be ways to do it and set up the steps to make that happen. And that takes belief in oneself and takes belief in the possibility again. I'm going to keep going back to that possibility, because if that possibility idea gets shut down, it's not happening in the first place.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared of making a mistake.
What are you afraid of? What could possibly go wrong?
In the big scheme of things, nothing.
We want you to identify what's stuck in your vibrational craw, what's not in place. What's not in place that needs... Are you saying that there's more about being there than just those things? That those are the things that are in place, but there are other things not quite yet in place?
Boy, did you nail that one. You want to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy up there. You knew that, didn't you? Yeah. There's a guy up there 24 years ago that I met, that I reconnected with 24 years later at Christmas time in Seattle. And when I met this guy after 24 years, to be really honest with you, and I saw him in the lobby when I was in Seattle at Christmas time, within 24 hours, like, oh, you're the one. It's you. It's you. And it was just a place of knowing. It wasn't...
And what was all that air crap?
Love you so much. Man, I just love you so much. Nailed it. All right, busted. I'm busted. That's it. You know, this guy inspires me so much in alignment in my vortex. I mean, it's just like I feel so connected to the universe.
So we're not even talking about Seattle.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
So on further investigation on this guy wanting to go to Seattle, and he began by describing how he loves the area, the trees, the air, all these things that he felt drawn to going there. And Esther Abraham Hicks was investigating further, and the guy finally talked about how he felt like he wanted to go back to reconnect with an old friend of his. And then Esther's like, so you're not even talking about the air, you're not even talking about the environment. And this is a good thing to think about if you're wanting to manifest something or bring into something into fruition that you're desiring to do, is to get really clear, having clarity of oneself. And I'm gonna like put a plug in to do meditation, because meditation helps clear the mind and understand the habit thinking. And once you start knowing how you operate in your mind, you can start putting out what it is you desire, and then the true reasons behind your actions and the things you are doing. It's really helpful. It helps to live a more fuller, a more well-balanced and full life.
Well, we can feel you. We know that you believe in the content of your vortex. We believe that about almost everyone who has been listening to us. We think that you've accepted, that you've carved it out, and that it's there, and that the potential for the manifestation is there. In other words, we know that you believe in this vibrational reality.
Absolutely.
But where the breakdown is, not just for you, but for almost everybody, is what do I need to do to prepare myself vibrationally to receive what's in my vortex?
The thing I love about Esther Abraham Hicks is that there's this inherent trust in the universal process. And I think that's a separate idea in my mind, and I could be, of course, projecting myself onto this, but it's my own opinion, is that there's a difference between woohoo vibrational and we're going to get it because we think positive, and a deep inside belief and trust in the universe that it has our back and it's on our side and it's going to do good things and it's going to be behind us when we make our decisions. There's a beauty to that, and those things can make things happen that wouldn't normally happen. Having fear is like putting a lid on the glass of water and the water can't pour in. That's kind of fear. Fear is more about when something bad is going to happen. You're going to, somebody's running after you, or there's a bear and you're going hiking. Like, that's genuine fear. There is another level of fear that comes about from being afraid that you need something to survive, so you have to live in the same circumstances and you have to have a job and you can't leave that job. You have to work this lower job or whatever it is. And I mean no disrespect to anybody, because I've worked a lot of different jobs and I'm appreciative of all the people that are doing things to make our society flow. I'm just talking more about the universal force, the universal energy vibrationally out on our side, God and the angels, or however you define what is the divine love of all, wants us to be well, is, I'm just going to keep saying that, our well-being. And somehow we've forgotten that, and there's a disconnect. It's like God is on the phone and we aren't on the other side picking up the phone or whatever. And it's just a metaphor to say about the energy being brought in between. So it's a different kind of trust that I think she's talking about.
And that's why you're expressing that I feel fear, which is the same thing as saying, I don't feel ready for what I want. I don't feel ready for what I want. I want to be ready for what I want, but I don't feel ready for what I want. And we want to say that's a good thing to acknowledge, and it shouldn't embarrass you. Everyone should understand they're not ready for what they want if what they want hasn't manifested yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. If I were ready, it would already be a manifested reality.
It does take being ready. It does take certain steps on each of our own account to get to where we want to go. It's just no way around that. And you can take it on a practical level. Like if you want to be a lawyer, you have to go through school, unless like you can pass the bar without doing that. I don't know if that happens. I know there's some pretty smart folks out there who can do things like that. For most of us, we have to do the steps, and there are steps. And maybe we're not ready for those steps or ready to put into action a new way of being. It takes energy on our part and our side. And that's not a bad thing. It's good to have clarity. And I'm going to do my meditation plug again. Meditating really helps to have clarity and strength in oneself. And there's no shame in not being where you think you ought to be yet. It's good to work it all out and get to the fruits, because life is a journey. It isn't just about like only sitting on the beach. there's steps to sitting on the beach. You gotta like load your car up with all the goodies, or put the tent in that's gonna block the wind so you can really enjoy the ocean. Like, there's always steps to everything. And there are psychological steps, there's energetic steps. We work on so many different levels, and respecting oneself and one process and the timing is highly important. It's not good to spiritually bypass things and just think, oh, I'm just not at the right vibration, so I couldn't make it happen, and then feel even worse about ourselves, or have somebody else who does that vibration thing and it's just like, you're not vibrating enough, that's why you're sick, or whatever it is that someone tries to do. No one has the right to say that you are not right where you should be and having the experiences that you should be having in any given moment.
So, what is an emotional word that represents the heart of this relationship that you want? Ease. Ease.
Beautiful.
The relationship I want is one of ease. It's easy. It's easy to feel good. It's easy to feel at one. It's easy to like what I see. It's easy to move through my day. It's easy to be who I am. It's easy to do the work that I want to do.
Esther Abraham Hicks has such a beautiful way of looking at things, and I really appreciate how she and Abraham conveys their spirituality. And using a word like that is a really powerful thing. Within a lot of spiritual traditions, they have prayer or short prayers or words or mantras or things that can be said that can bring you back into focus. And in centering prayer, you can use one or two words and use them if you just want to have a prayer that's a lot of words. So, for instance, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy can be a centering prayer for you, and it can also have a meaning that you put behind it, so you can sit down and say, I mean these words to mean, God have mercy on my soul, prayers for my family, help center me into my prayers so I can say the full prayer. So in Japan, they have a prayer that's called Ima Takidas. Ima Takidas. And Ima Takidas is a prayer word that says, this is my meaning for it, and simplified it. Thank you for this food. But it is an infinite thank you. It is supposed to include everything and every moment that brought that food into being. It is thanking the person who made the plate, thanking the farmer, thanking the animals, thanking the sun and the moon and the rain, and thanking the parents of the farmer who has the animals. It's just this long, unending chain. And so when you get to a centering prayer word, it can be simple like love, or it could be a word like she said, ease. And you can use that in meditation. You can use any word. You can make it have the symbolism of what you want it to mean. If you are distracted, or you get out of the present moment, or you start feeling fear, or you're not moving towards your goal, you can say the word to bring you back into the present moment. You can say the word goal, and that can just give the meaning of getting centered and refocusing on what it is you want to create or make.
It's easy to be two separate people with two separate intentions through many things. It's easy to be in a relationship like that. It's easy. It's easy. It just feels comfortable. It feels comfortable to be in a relationship.
I had to put that part in because I could just see his physical reaction to her talking about how easy it is. It's easy. And he took a breath in and his whole body relaxed. It's like it brought him back to what the truth is. And the truth is he wants to reconnect with his friend. He wants to be in an area that he wants to enjoy and love, that he had lived at before. So there's so much to it. And finding the word and the words that help you refocus and bring about what your desires are, what you want to happen, and to live the kind of life you want to live. There is something to the law of attraction. And it includes being in the present moment and finding the words and making the steps happen and sinking into the belief and trust that this is the way to go and it is all for my benefit and the universe is on my side with it.
Like this, it feels comfortable. It feels secure. It feels certain and secure and easy and comfortable. It feels real. It feels true. It feels honest and deep. It feels soul and source. It feels core. It feels basic. It feels true. It feels real. It feels good. It feels easy. It feels soft and gentle and sure. It feels comfortable. It feels like love.
Her soothing words are very powerful in calming the nervous system and moving him in his mind to a place where the potentialities and the possibilities are open for him and for us. And if we all learn to have self-talk of love and energy and calmness and relaxing and peace and confidence and trust and letting go of the fear that keeps us chained in our confines of our own minds and not allowing us to live our life fully. I encourage you to learn some self-talk like Esther Abraham is giving at the moment, of reminding our souls that we came here and we have the love, the divine love of source of all that is, and I call that God because it's simpler for me, but just the love of the universe and the trust in ourselves and the trust in others and letting go of those chains and mind bonds and just taking things in the present moment as they arise and working towards the things we love and want to create.
Love. It feels like being loved. It feels like loving. It feels like adoring. It feels like sureness. It feels like certainty. It feels like confidence. It feels like knowing. It feels like being. It feels like me. It feels like home. It feels real. It feels certain. It feels honest. It feels open. It feels open-ended. It feels expansive. It feels delicious. It feels fun. It feels...
He has a big grin on his face, and she is definitely talking to his soul, and his soul is responding to the positive feelings of living a life that we choose as much as we potentially can. And there's always going to be things that challenge us and make it so doesn't, like I just put the suitcases on the car and drive to Seattle and then boom, it's like magical. It's not magical thinking. It's an energy and using our energy sources to bring about the things we want and working through the things that block us and prevent us, like our own fear. And they're going to be there. That's the thing that's really aggravating for me about the vibrational talk of, oh, you just got to vibrate higher. And that's not true. It's going to take things to make it happen. And we have to go through the fear. It's just not getting caught up in the fear and staying there.
It feels captivating. It feels enticing. It feels passionate. It feels vital. It feels alive. It feels full. It feels real. It feels like me. You see?
Yeah.
Now, that's way more than 68 seconds. And now all the questions are gone. The grid is just right. The energy is moving. The grid is filling in. The details of it do not matter. The relationship in its fullness cannot feel better than that. Because all those things and all those details that are coming that you want are all because you want to feel like you just felt.
Yes.
So you just made an end run around the unnecessary manifestation, and you captured the emotional, vibrational resonance of what you're looking for, and you just became a vibrational match to what's in your vortex. And now, like water flows downhill, so this soft, gentle, comfortable, easy momentum. So now what's happened? Now you've done grid work, and you have, because we didn't pull that out of thin air. We pulled it right out of your vortex, right out of the core of who you are. It's who you are. It's why you felt it. It's why you resonate with it so deeply. So now you've done this grid work.
He was moved to tears, and she tapped into his soul, and they had a vibrational exchange of love and trust, and she raised his vibration up to be moving him back to where he wants to be, in a place of trust.
What's happened is the vibration of that which you are and the vibration of that which you want are in the same place. So now evidence of this newfound, newly discovered resonance, good word, resonance, will start showing up. In other words, the grid's going to begin filling in.
The vibration for him has been raised, and that's going to bring him back to the place of where he will be able to do the steps that he needs to do to make his dream come possible. It isn't just, oh, I'm going to move. It does take steps, and those steps can't be accomplished if we aren't in a space to make it happen. He's also in a place of trust. He trusts the universe is on his side. And the things that get in our way and are part of not helping, but a part of creating us the disconnect from the universe can either stay there, or we can remember our true self, which we are souls living in this body to have these experiences, and the experiences we desire, and the universe wants that to happen. And the only way those things can line up or align or make the law of attraction happen is if we have the open heart and the place to get there. However, it's not going to happen if we're in the mind bonds of it can't happen, or the universe isn't on my side. It's going to feel like it isn't on our side sometimes. We just have to do the things to remind us it is on our side. And I am here to remind you to trust the process. Trust the universe. Trust you are a divine spark of God and love and humanness that has these experiences of fear and blocks and can get stuck in whatever it is we get mired in. It's normal. We're human. It's going to happen. But there is a way out. And the way out is meditation. That's just my opinion.
Your work is not to jump into some sort of immediate action. Your work is to acknowledge the relationship between that and what just happened, between that and what just happened, between that and what just happened. So what will happen as you continue to do that today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day is your confidence in your belief, your expectation, your knowing your certainty of the unfolding, then you just say things like, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me.
Things are working out for us. They are. And we are human. And they're not going to work out sometimes. It's how we respond to the events that aren't working out that can make or break us. And trust me when I say I have been through some events that have nearly broken me. I understand the struggle, the internal struggle to get back centered, to get to the place where I go, oh yeah, I am a divine being. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I'm a child of God. Oh my God, yes, I remember the universe is on my side. But I'll say, bullshit. I don't feel that right now. I don't believe that right now. The trick is, trust me when I say this, it's important to get back to that spark of trust and love and divineness.
About. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would joyously allow the universe to deliver to you with precision everything that you're looking for. And we would not, for a moment, make any effort at all to fill in our own grid. We wouldn't pack up our truck and go, as we were teasing you earlier. We would not do that, because that's you trying to fill in the grid. But when you wake up one morning and you know that there is nothing, no one that could keep you from doing exactly that, that's the grid filling in, you see.
Yeah.
Can you feel the difference?
Yes. Love you so much. Man, I just love you so much. Nailed it.